All right. Gonna work on some fur for the face. Okay, I was doing some stupid ass geometry node stuff for the face. I'm going to get rid of that. Whatever I was doing there. Uh, and as it turns out, I have better method. So, what we're gonna do is add a mirror. And then we're going to apply our inner to. Perfect. Okay. So in this collection, we're going to bring in our asset. Do I like this setup? Really? I guess I'm not really used to it. Let's just delete layout. Put it at the front. Okay. And in this collection, we're going to take the hair, BRCF hair. I want way too many versions of this now. We have to go and clean some of this up. But we're looking for the ones that are in the geometry nodes. So add this here. And then, oops, wow, whatever. Now that we've done that, we have this hair object, which we can make a library override. So you can move it. And then for the object, we want to make it local. And for the mesh data, we want to make it local, but we want to keep our modifiers linked to the other object. That's the important part. Okay. And this is what we're going to use for the face hair. Because we have a collection here that we can use, hair strands. And we're going to need to retrofit some of this. So we're going to make a new collection. We'll call this face hair strands. And I will take one of these, duplicate it, and send it to source assets, body hair, face hair. Okay. Face hair strand. Okay. This one's going to be a little bit different. If I remember correctly, it actually needs to be this way. And we'll just put 3 on there for right now. Okay, so now we've got this fur tuft. Okay, then we've got the face hair here. And we want to point it at the collection we just created, face hair strands. Okay, and you can see we are actually creating some hair now. Awesome. Let's take this subdivision and add another. Maybe on the strand. Good. Let's delete this, make a plane. Set the attribute to, let's say, okay. The nice part too is we are able to add our hair editing. So we can go here and we can drop on something like hair frizz. Just make sure we put it in between the curves. And maybe we'll put the mirror down here instead, so the face hair matches exactly. um, I feel like I need to use a shrink wrap. Hello, Arctic. Welcome. We're making some buzz now. this. All right, that looks good. You look so happy. Hey, Lixpert34, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Not much. We're just making a werewolf right now. Three, two, one. Look. I'm doing good. How about yourself? Thank you. What game do you think I'm playing right now? Alright, I'm just gonna beat you to the punch here. Bot gone. It's got kind of like a Count Dracula vibe right now. That hairline. Looks a little... Yeah, just a little bit more variation there. Knocked over my cut. Pretty good. Whew. No. Look at our reference. That's Unity, that is not reference. A lot of them have a lot more fur kind of coming off the side into like a mane kind of look. I guess we already have that, so... Yep, I think we just need to get the teeth in there now and start cleaning up some other aspects. You know, make the nose a little wetter. But painting... Oh, I have to get a whole new tab. Well, I'll probably get a whole new tablet. Fortunately, my tablet pen is just dead at this point. I was kind of hoping it'd last a little bit longer, but it is officially donezo. Which is a little sad. But let's do some painting. Please work with me, substance. Work with me! Alright, so we got the nose already assigned, I believe. Right here. So make it a little glossier. Something like that, so it actually kind of pops. Not much of the other skins really lighting up much. Be nice to get a little bit of a shadow. It's just funny to me, they really seem to use metallic a little bit more to make things a little bit darker. The mouth too. With this layer, I'm going to paste it right here, set it to multiply. I need a bigger monitor. Rip tablet pen. I know. A sad day. Sad day indeed. Okay. We're just gonna do it by hand. Get a range. Alpha noise. Stone. That. A little bit of flow jitter. Eyes jitter. Okay, let's now make our tail. We also need some eyebrows, I think. Maybe. This one goes all the way up to here, which I kind of like. But on the chin there, too. Little chinny chin chin. Fighting Unity at the moment. I think I'm gonna have to grab the hubs to figure out why it's behaving. Because Unity hates life. It's evil. out by the hairs of my chin, chin, chin. Trying to make something trigger when you enter water, but my keep also goes under the water level, so I model the water level with holes cut out. Just like the mesh collider, I'd replace the original box collider with a trigger mechanism as acting as if the box collider is still there and activating when I go downstairs. Interesting. There's some other object then? Some sort of hidden collider, perhaps? he just doesn't look super scary right now. Like it needs a little more intensity. A bit Amish at the moment. Maybe I could swap out the strand. Maybe that's get this hair shorter. Close. Don't look at him and think. It just doesn't look very threatening right now. Okay. Yeah. Odd question, but are you supposed to walk slower down a slope / stairs in VRC, or is that a modeling issue on my end? I have so many test water layers. I think if you're... I don't think so. I think you should probably go a little bit faster walking downstairs. Or at a sort of slope. But I guess if it's at a steep enough angle, you might be falling. I don't know. I don't think it should slow you down. Hello, Estrella. Welcome. I sent something on Discord. I'm proud. Hope topology is good. Take a look in just one moment. Just gonna start some tail. Actually, you know what? I guess I totally could just make a cylinder. With no fill. 8. And I can just set the attribute to something like 20. Just gonna be making a bunch of these. In fact, maybe I'll make an array. Sorry, let me take a look. Now I'm scared to touch multi-res. I don't know how this devilish work. I need to make little bit fixes, and after this version, what I said will be low poly. But I want to draw decals on this, like bumps, etc. And I don't know in what order now I need to apply modifiers. Very cool. Saucy. I like it. Well, it doesn't look like you're using a multi-res at all right now. I would recommend doing things like decals and stuff. So decals, well, depends on what you mean by decals. Do you mean decals like Poyomi shader decals? Want to make first low poly and high poly, then bake normals. Yes, I'm using Poyomi. Well, definitely baking is always my first step. So do my baking, get my texturing going. If you can, though, what I would recommend is not applying things and still keeping your work. Like, like when you're going to create the game ready version, like what I do here, if you're looking at my collection right here, the source assets, this is all my working files, and I never get rid of things, and I try to keep them in a state where they have modifiers, they have all the objects. So if I ever need to go back, I don't have to reapply anything. It's just all there. And then when I want to make the game ready version, I duplicate those things, mesh them, apply them, and bring them down into the game ready version. And that'll be a separate version. But I make sure to keep all the objects I'm using to make my characters. Then left all my work files. I mean, that's just my personal preference for organization. But I do think it gives me the most flexibility. Do something like this. Maybe 25. Do 8 of them. Then add a curve. An actual curve. But if I'm using a subdivision surface, how can I jump from subdivision into multi-res? How does it work? I know I need him to make a sculpt. So multi-res is pretty easy. You can just remove your subdivision modifier, add the multi-res, and then the multi-res modifier will have its own subdivision controls. So you can just get rid of your subdivision, slap on the multi-res, and start applying it. The main issue you're going to encounter, though, is that your mirror modifier doesn't inherently work with a multi-res. So most likely, if you're using the multi-res for your high poly version, you'll want to apply your mirror modifier, then put the multi-res and start subdividing. And then for baking, I just export the multi-res version and the low poly version separately. Excuse me. There's an option to bake levels of multi-res. In Blender, there is, and I would just Google multi-res baking if that's what you're looking to do. Your biggest issue with that is you can't bake multiple objects at the same time. You can only bake one texture per object. So if you have a bunch of separate objects, it gets a little difficult to work with. But certainly baking is an option. Oh. What's happening here? Oh, it's probably where I have the curve. I probably made it in the wrong folder. Good to know. Good. One question about mirror and subdivision. It's normal when I'm sculpting with it, it's breaking at the middle. This is what you mean to get the same issue with multi-res. That's why I like applying the mirror when I'm working with the multi-res. So I have working with a full model, right? Both sides combined. Then I put the multi-res on. Because it does get a little challenging to clean up that cut in the middle. For me, it's a lot easier to work with a mirrored model with the multi-res, and then if I ever need to pull it apart, I'll just get rid of half of it. I'll just delete that half later, if I need to do that. Now to work with a model that is not symmetrical. That one's a little easier. Then you don't really have any concern. Is that what you're asking? I might be a little confused on what you're asking there. My brain's a bit laggy after medicines. I've broken my rib. Oh, dang. I'm sorry to hear that. Just wishing recovery. That's a tough one. That was a tough break. Did you? I would guess riding a bike. How did you damage it? Got sick, had a bad cough at one point. Right after waking up, I soon stood up and coughed at the same time, and your rib broke. My goodness. Unlocked a new trauma. There's always more to unlock, as life likes to remind us. Well, I hope you're wishing you a swift recovery. Two months, jumped again and learned 3D modeling, and I need it for my commissions. Good. All right, does this guy look like a wolf or what? Oh, like a furry. Pretty much, yeah. Dangerous furry. Furry with an edge. Ferengi. Wow, that just sounds like the Star Trek character. Fur angry. Angry Legoshi. All right, are we getting there? We're getting close. Getting close to finished. All right, let's focus on wrapping up our character. So we got toenails and fingernails baking. We may just want to make some high poly versions of those as well. We do have the high poly versions. So really it is the teeth we'd like to finalize right now, which should be here. So yeah, that just does not look that great, fortunately. Okay, I'm gonna delete the top there and just recreate what we have. The teeth curves in here. Oops. Red eyes, really big red circle, really empty inside. May do a few different eyes, but for now I just got this yellow classic wolf. Because wolves have yellow eyes. Are you referencing Teen Wolf? Actually, no, there should be a little bit more space between these back ones, but just not this much. Something like that. Then we can do stuff like give them a bit of variation, rotate them a little. Just so they're not perfect. The most scary for me. Is that Miku? Yeah, that looks good. You want to meet that version of Miku? Creepoo. She's creepy. So I'm going to take all these. Duplicate and send them to the upper high poly. We're pretty much just flipping them up. Instanced? They are, yeah. Goodness. Whew. Oh, wow. By the way, Sam, you're mostly making organic stuff. Sometimes do you happen to commit hard surface like weapons? I do. So I've made a hello, Vold King. Welcome back. I have made a. Let's just go to my Gumroad. I've made some hard surface stuff. This one's a little bit more organic looking, but it's got a weapon. And then I made this sniper rifle a very long time ago. Came out pretty cool. How to make them? All Blender. It's all in Blender. Takes a while though. Then copy to selected. Gotcha. I need to select this one. And on the place on curve, swap the curve. Boom. Copy that selected. Boom. RC 180. Alright, so now we got some good twofers. Blender should be something they teach from primary school. Hello, Popstar. Welcome. Everyone should know it. They don't know how much fun it is. I do think that like video game engines are actually the best way to learn a lot of things. Like physics. Like it's way easier to learn physics inside of a video game engine than like anywhere else. Because you can play with it and figure it out. Right now we're working on a werewolf. Whoa, whoa. I'll be referencing this video as well in the playlist it goes. My pet lizard typed that. Man, you could make a lot of money if you had a typing lizard. By the way, some 3D artists telling the tablet is needed with 3D graphics. What do you think that is about that? Is it working with tablet better than a mouse? I mean, I only have one. It's only for Osu. Absolutely, a tablet will make a lot of things a lot easier. Definitely. I actually just ran into some trouble with mine, and it's kind of preventing me from doing a lot of the things I want to be doing, like sculpting and painting. I think that there's just a level of control you're gonna be missing with without a tablet. Not that it's like impossible to make it work. I just think that because it's certainly a lot more comfortable to do certain types of things. You're going to be doing a lot of sculpting and stuff. It's worth it. Then pressure working with sculpting, yeah, absolutely. I'm not joking. He really is doing it. That's awesome. Maybe make Yarnaby from Poppy Playtime. Oh! Tablets help with things such as sculpting or painting. Yeah, exactly. Blender needs a special config for that. Just plug and boom, working. Use Wacom CTL, but working with tablets without screen is so strange for me. I prefer not having a screen personally. It's a little bit more like using a mouse. And then I'm not looking down or straining my neck in any way. But yes, all your tablets should just be plug and play. Hello, Plasma. I was just watching Casio play that. Queso? Is his name literally Queso? That's fine. Put that together. Play what? Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Say that 10 times fast. No! It crashed. I saved. Last question, and I go beat this multi-res guy about Path Tool. Can I somehow prevent him from rotating? I spot there is a direction. If I follow this, to rotate a little bit less. What? Tilting. In Blender, unfortunately, not really. The curve rotation is just something. I don't know if it's like an unsolved problem or something. Not really sure why it sucks so bad, but it does suck pretty bad. Excuse me. Oh no way! I'm way back. Dang, that really set me back time-wise. Oh no! He makes content faster than I can watch it. Like I'm at work right now. Then I think I'll make belts, etc. with subdivision more than path tools. I tested it and path is so annoying for me. I think curves are really good for hair, and that's about it. But yeah, if you need to make something fit a character really well, it's pretty difficult. I do use them for deformers. So for example, the teeth are using a curve here. Because it's so rotated here. And I think I'll make belts that are subdivision more than path tools. Tested and paths are annoying for me. Have a good day. Stay strong. Don't break your ribs. Remember, control S. Bye. Sounds good, Estrella. We'll catch you later. And hope your ribs heal up quick. Single user. Object data. Boom, boom. What is the werewolf village for? So I want to make a lot of resources for people to do like role playing on with like VTubers. So role playing for Dungeons and Dragons specifically. So I'm kind of working on a lot of tools for exactly that. Oh, it didn't rotate properly when I flipped it because it was on gimbal. That's stuff. Well. Two, yeah, it's the fourth one, so. D&D is always fun. It is. It is. And I think that D&D and VR are really like a match made in heaven. And I just want to see more people, more content creators, and people just using VR for what it's really good at. And I think really they just don't have enough resources. So is Strahd next? That'd be fun. I'm trying to avoid things that are a little too I don't want to get copyright sued, so I have to avoid some of the uh, pitfalls with that. Just kind of make sure I'm not setting myself up for a lawsuit. But at the same time, stuff like that sounds super fun. These teeth are just slightly... Maybe they're on the same spot. Looks good. Thank you, Popstar. I think we're just about done with some of this stuff. And then we're going to sculpt the teeth up a little bit, make them nice and scary looking, and the tongue and stuff. It's gonna be a blast. Nice. That is looking pretty good. Now I've got a whole thing of fur or two. He's all fluffy. I think I do need to touch up the face a little bit. He's looking a little, doesn't look as as I want. He's gonna get Gonna use Auto Rig Pro. Yes, Auto Rig Pro is my standard. Checked out a few D&D worlds and look viable for D&D. Only 3/5 of my D&D squad use VR though, so it won't be for me for a while. Maybe stuff like this could convince them. Let me show you something that just got announced by VR Chat that may definitely open it up. So, VR Chat now has this is on desktop. So this right here is someone using a webcam to do tracking, head, mouth, eye, hand, and finger tracking all through VR Chat and a webcam, nothing else. So I think that this kind of thing will really make a huge difference. Still need a PC, but definitely think it makes stuff like exactly what we were just talking about, this kind of D&D VR stuff, a lot more viable. But hello, Galaxy. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. We're working on some teeth right now. Teeth and claws, stuff like that. The UV map is rotated? That's pretty rare. Rare of an air. Can't tell if it's rotated right now, but it's fit to boundaries. Unstack. Good. Shrink him a little. That's all the teeth. I probably should have done one chunk at a time. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Let's shrink him a little. Boom. Up there. Then we'll do the gums, which the gums should be pretty much good. All right. Then we can actually just worry about placing them. Need to load. This body UV layout in order to, or more things need to be placed. So just like I use AutoRig Pro, Popstar, I'm also trying to use the same UV map layout for all my characters. I don't know if this is necessary, and it's not necessarily something that is super important unless you're trying to make characters, a bunch of characters. So like having a pipeline is important. Like if you want to make a bunch of characters, the more important thing than actually doing the work is, basically your factory. So that's kind of what we've built here. It's just a standard layout for all my characters. It's not one-to-one, because like, for example, the teeth here are different than human teeth. These are wolf teeth, wolfy teeth. But still super cool to have kind of the same layout for a lot of stuff. All right. Now we should also have the tongue is in the right spot. All right. Good. Let's take the teeth now, lower and upper, high poly, put them there, and here. Actually, I take that back. It'll be a lot easier to duplicate all this stuff. I take it right now. And then these are the gums, high poly, low poly. Alt D duplicate, send that to lower low poly. Lower low poly. Boom. Then take all these. Alt D duplicate. Send them to low poly. And then the tongue. Low poly. Do I have one? Might as well just delete it in that. Oh, got a multi-res. all looking pretty good. Let's go to scripting. And I'm going to open our renaming script. Because this is a huge pain to do by hand. So in this collection, we're searching for high, and we're going to rename it low. Gorgeous. But we have some additional duplicates. Gotcha. Not using that method anymore. And then let's just wait. It's all upper. Okay. So let's turn off the tongue. Take all these. And we'll just do tooth, lower, one, beautiful name, powerful name. This will be 1. This will be 2. We're just going to go in order. 3. 4. 5. I just ended up having to manually do this anyway. Create a Blender Python script to take takes the selected collection and adds a string to the end of all object. This is meant to be so that open. There's a postfix called a suffix. That makes more sense. So now they each have unique names. They each have low. We can rename the gums upper to just gums upper low. These all have name. It'd be nice to have them in order, but not dead set on that. Now for the low poly ones, one thing we want to do is turn down the subdivision amount. Still 6,000. Amazing how quick subdivisions add up. So I think what we'll do instead for the gums remove the subdivision on all of them. Really cut down our vertex count. Good. Then we'll add a shrink wrap to them. Then we'll turn on the high poly teeth. Place on curve, then shrink wrap to the other tooth. Gotta make sure I'm selecting the teeth in the upper low poly collection. Otherwise we're gonna have some trouble. Gonna take a little bit of time. Okay. Gorgeous. That's going to give some good results. But now we have to make sure that the names are matching between these two collections. So tooth upper underscore. That's what we want to add to the name. Like this, copy to selected. Then for this collection, we want to add I. That's going to be the main issue. Oh, interesting. Oh, I misnamed these. How do I do that? Okay, one more script. Rename high, low. For selected objects. Oh, okay. New. Create a Blender script to be run in the text editor that takes the name of the active object, checks if it has high or low in the name, then names the second object selected opposite. The second selected object, same name, but swapping. Open up the function to take arbitrary. So let's confirm. Take these two. Perfect. Ah. Ensure capitalization. It's just renaming them. They're out of order. 2, 3. Oh, this is so much more complicated than it needs to be. Do need to rename them, but that's the wrong collection. Slightly faster. Still annoying. That way we can just match them immediately. Okay, so upper teeth are done. Now the lower teeth. It's work. Tooth. Zero, 1, 2. So it'll be 3. Wait, no. Damn it. Out of order. This should be 1, 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. I swear I keep clicking that one. Just really wants to select the one behind. 3, 4, 6, 8. All right, beautiful. And then we'll add suffix. Hello, Bird Gates. Welcome. Boom. Okay, so now they all got the naming proper. And then, absolutely. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Here to learn some new shit. Well, nice. We're making a werewolf right now. I'll show you the full thing in a moment, but we're getting the mouth and stuff set up for baking. Almost done with that. And then all these. Shrink wrap. Just a little pulled away. What have you been up to? Anything fun? Oh, these teeth take forever. Okay. Teeth have to be one of the most annoying things to make. All right. So now we want to rename these. Okay, so now all the naming conventions there line up. The tongue lined up. And actually get rid of we can take it like right here. Or R. Subdivision. Now, is this UV map applied properly? No, it is not. Okay, that means that we'll apply the multi-res after making it single user. Apply the multi-res. Cut the tongue in half. Add a mirror. Here. Make sure we have mirror U on. That should be good. Okay. So teeth, lower, high poly. All the high poly stuff can go here. All the low poly stuff can go here. And my teeth curves can go back into body components. All right. So now, everything should be enabled. Interesting. Should be able to do that one at a time. Guess we weren't quite ready for prime time there. So teeth, lower, boom, boom. And one at a time, because they share the data, we should be able to do that. Alright, which means we'll move up as one. Oh, that's annoying. Looks like there's some stuff to clean up still. Rotation. Beautiful. So have you done any of them tutorial videos I told you to do last time? Not as of yet, but it's definitely closer than it was. But I definitely would love to make some tutorial videos. That's high on my list of things to do. But it will take some time. Excuse me. Copy, so the selected. Let's do 1 point. All right, should be good to go now. Go ahead and export our collections. Back to here. Refresh the mesh. Let's look at our UV map. Gorgeous. Powerful. How many comms do I do in a month? Right now, I'm not doing any, and I'm just focusing on products. Yeah, it should be fine. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I think my hope is to make like a good, solid resource for of course the teeth are gone somehow. Look, where'd my tooth go? Oh, I see. We have to reorder so that this is above. Shrimp crab, okay. Need to whip up some fire e-boy shit. I like it. I like it. I definitely want to make some very compelling characters. They'll probably still be geared more towards fantasy role-playing, at least to start with. But eventually I just want to be like in Westworld, you know, when the guy has the warehouse full of bodies. I want to be like that, but for a VR chat. That sounds really morbid out of context. Don't be shy, the e-boys need cool shit too. Oh, I'm not afraid. Not afraid. Is it still busted on this one? Place on curve. Move it up. Very good. So the tooth isn't broken. Love to see you whip up some cool cyber shit. I'm working on a cyber Abbey right now. Love to have some Sam Dunner stuff on my model. One thing I was thinking about is making like a bunch of clothes, because I've always been kind of worried about, thinking about how do I make a bunch of outfits for characters. And I was really stuck on like, okay, we'll have a farmer outfit and then this type of outfit and then that type of outfit. But then what I realized is just like, there's no reason not to just make a bunch of pieces of clothing, and then, you know, I can make outfits out of that library of clothes. So that's the thought. one at a time. We'll still keep going through on the teeth upper low poly, making sure our shrink wrap is after remove. Hey. Thank you, Bird Games, for the resub. Super appreciate it. Super appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Bam. Also, do you like my bald head? I'm not sure if you saw my long hair, actually. I had long hair for quite a while. Look at that, 250 from me for a snack. A single peanut. There we go. Why you shaved the head? It's gonna get warm soon. Very warm. Summer is basically here. That's a lie. Spring is here. And they both suck, so it's gonna... I just got tired of having a bunch of hair in my face. Alright, exported back here. Refresh the mesh. Now we can see the teeth. We're still not quite there. Now we need to go to our mirror mod, make sure that this is enabled for everything. And export again. Boom. Boom. Now refresh. All right. Build out. Save here. Mode. Bake. Loading, loading, loading. Loading, loading, loading. Matching by name. What isn't matching? Gum lower high. Oh. All right, save. Bakey. Mhm. Interesting. A little bit of overlap. Ooh, the claws are overlapping. Okay, so we'll need to rearrange this in order to work with the claws. I think we'll rotate the claws actually. From sideways. Looking pretty good though. What's the cages for? Is it for baking detail? I never understood that. So cages, so when you're rendering something in a normal uh like Blender, you have a camera, you're rendering out animation, it shoots these little rays out to sample the world. You're basically looking out and sampling the world. Baking details is actually the same method, but adapted for mesh. And you have to tell that ray, because there's no camera, you have to tell that ray, where do you start? Where does the ray start? Um, and so, oops. Basically, like you can kind of see it here on the ear. And I can draw over it a little bit. But the ray starts on the cage right here, and then shoots towards the actual high poly surface. So the cage just determines where that or where the start of it is. And that's important because if you have things like fingers right here, you can see how the cage actually is intersecting between them. So if I go here, you can see we get these odd little seams here, right there. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but you get these seams right here, and that's a sampling error. That is where it's actually sampling either the inside of the other finger, but because the cage is intersecting, that's where that error comes from. You can see it probably more pronounced right here. Yeah. Basically things that are really close together. So just a simple way to adjust that is the cage distance. And you just want to make sure nothing is red. I saw a little bit right there. And that will help a lot. Still won't fix everything. Then the other trick that I use a lot now is the reason I spent so much time just now naming everything is you can basically prevent the clipping that I was pointing out by having it match by mesh name. So because I've named everything, you see how they match the toenail low to toenail high. When it's sampling, it only samples those two meshes. It doesn't sample anything else. It ignores everything else for the most part. And it makes, so for claws, it'll make very clean intersections. Like you just get this really nice, clean intersection there. You're not picking up any of the finger or anything. That looks beautiful. Beautiful. Same with the teeth as well. Those are some of the places where you'd get a lot of those types of issues. Anyway, hope that helps. Actually getting some clipping right there. Werewolf looks good. Oh, not bake mesh maps. I want to export the textures. But I want to check principled BSDF is missing. Ambient occlusion. Let's just say so by baking with a cage, you can tell it to bake certain part and minimize errors, right? Exactly. Exactly. It's just you know, if you can sculpt your cage and really work it in order to prevent that clipping. That's how you control that. How you can minimize those kinds of issues. We're going to reopen this file so I can see it with my latest textures. He's looking pretty darn good. Which is a little bit glossier. It's werewolf. Doing that. Generate. Where did I lose my teeth? Hmm. Good though. Oh, we should add the tail. So add that to our collection. Tail. Let's call this fur. Fur. Come on. Fur components. And fur low poly. That should keep things a little bit more organized. LP. Gorgeous. And now, for our teeth. So in order to mesh those properly, basically the shrink wrap is difficult because we have to remove the offset teeth. I guess the easiest way to fix that would be to take all the teeth and the tongue. Just move them down. Back into the mouth, say. Better. It's still assigning the incorrect. And then the hair exploded. Right. So why are these losing their texture? We have the body material on there. But then we do go through place on curve, mirror, shrink wrap, yada yada. Just gonna duplicate this one and mesh it. And do I lose my material? I don't. So why are we losing it? I just make a set material node. It's kind of annoying that I have to do that, but I think somehow the place on curve is removing my material. Or it's not realizing the object. Oh, it is. I don't know why it's not working. Look at that tail. All right, so close yet so far. It is lunchtime now, so we'll call it here. And when we get back, we're going to fix those baking errors, and then we're just on to rigging after that point. There's probably some more tweaks we can make to the body, yada yada, but we'll leave it here. All right, everyone. Popstar, Bird Gains, Plasma Raptor, Galaxy, Void King, Estrella, anyone else that is lurking, Arctic, Snardom, anyone else out there. Hope you're all having an amazing Thursday. I'll be back soon. We're putting the final touches on our werewolf here. See you then.